The Chair with Bex.
Oh my gosh, I'm so not good at this.
Tell us, what's your name?
My name is Gabby Ruddick.
Gabby, short for?
Gabrielle.
There you go.
Yeah, but I go by Gabby.
Can you hear the accent? Can you guess where she's from?
We'll give you 30 seconds to guess. I'm from America.
There we go.
Yes, so I was born in Missouri, which is a Midwestern state, but I grew up most of my life in Colorado, which is a little bit more Western. I also lived in New York City for a few years, and then that was when I moved after that to London.
Oh wow. How long were you in New York for?
I was in New York for 2.5 years.
Oh, okay. I thought you lived there for longer.
No,
How
just
was it?
2.5. Amazing. I mean, it's really similar to London in the sense that it's a really big kind of international main hub city. Magical New York.
Do you meet a lot of very interesting characters?
You do, actually. I find that you meet more people in New York City than you do in London. In general, I've noticed that everyone kind of stays to themselves more in London, whereas I think maybe it's just more American culture to kind of just talk, you know, randomly. Say hello to someone in the elevator, say hello to someone on the street, in the grocery store, that type of thing, you know.
Are you like that?
Actually, I moved to New York to do a master's program there. So
Okay.
I did a master's in photography and filmmaking
Wow.
at the School of Visual Arts.
Oh wow.
And that was really the reason that I moved to New York.
How was the course?
It was good. It was less commercial than I thought it would be. Much more kind of artistic, opinion-based. I mean, photography in general is quite opinion-based, but I assumed it would be a lot more commercial than it was. It was more on the artistic side.
Okay.
But it was still great. I learned so much from the school and my experience there. The only thing about the US and school is that I wouldn't necessarily say that it was worth the money.
Do you think so?
Yeah. If I had the choice, and if I had the no, I would have possibly gone to school here.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. I think that I didn't have all the information. I didn't learn about the education system costs here until I moved here, which was well after I had graduated.
Okay.
Let's talk about us.
Let's talk about us. Yeah, we can talk about us. Do you want to tell the story, how we've met?
Yeah, so I moved here from New York. I was working in the beauty photography industry, and I needed to build my contact base and find people to work with. So I'm a photographer, if that wasn't obvious already from my school talk. But I was currently working doing commercial beauty photography. We all know Instagram, and Instagram is an amazing way to connect with people. And so I was reaching out to different makeup artists that I found in London that I loved their work, and I found Bex and just loved her work, and so I sent her a message. She responded and said, yeah, it'd be great to work together, and we just met up. We planned a shoot. I don't think we had met before our first shoot.
No.
So we planned a shoot, a test shoot. So a test shoot is when you come up with ideas to help support and build your portfolio. So we both together came up with some ideas for a test shoot, and we got a model, and we had a hair person come in as well. And we created some amazing photos.
We did.
Right here. We kept going from there. I mean, we loved the photos that we were able to create, and we just kept creating. Yeah. At one point, we were shooting like sometimes more than twice a week, or sometimes more than once a week.
Yeah. And it helps that we live so close to each other.
Yeah, 10-minute drive.
Yeah. In terms of photography, let's really dive into a little bit of that. I think that's really interesting. What type of photography, like, what do you enjoy shooting? Do you enjoy shooting commercial beauty? Do you like, you know, shooting like film? Like, what's Gabby's thing?
Yes, I worked in the commercial beauty industry for almost 10 years, shooting beauty photography, skincare, makeup, that type of thing. It was very creative, exciting, but I don't necessarily that I would say that it's super rewarding in a few ways. One, because I did all the retouching myself, so that was quite a lot of work. It took much more time to do the retouching than it did to do the shoots. And the shoots was where I had the most fun. I did outsource a bit of retouching at one point or another, but in general I preferred my own retouching style to anyone else's. I tried quite a few other people. I agree. I can tell when it's your retouching or if it's someone else. Thank you. I try. Retouching, I feel like, is a very sensitive subject, especially in today's kind of world, where we're kind of trying to go against it. But being completely honest, in such a commercial industry, clients will make demands that you have to retouch to a certain kind of commercial industry standard. And if you want to have money to support yourself, to succeed in that sense, you have to be able to do that. So that kind of spent just so much of my time, and it was becoming more of kind of a technical job rather than a creative career. So it just wasn't really that rewarding in that sense. So I've kind of transitioned in the last year to move over to more consumer photography. And consumer photography versus commercial photography is, consumer is like your average person, your next door neighbor, your kids you know down the block, that type of thing. Families, newborns, that type of thing. So weddings, but specifically I photograph newborns and children and families with young children. The client is the consumer, so the client is the person coming to you, rather than in the commercial industry where you're working with many different people. There's kind of a chain of command. You have a lot of people to answer to. Things take a bit slower. In this new consumer realm, portraiture, I am kind of specifically gearing towards newborns and motherhood photography.
Oh, how nice! How are you finding that?
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's just so lovely, so nice, so special to kind of capture these moments for people who've just gone through a real life-changing event. You know, they've expanded their family, mothers who've had babies, and with newborn photography, it happens in the first 2 to 4 weeks. It can go upwards, and I do photograph older babies as well, but generally, ideally, you would photograph a newborn in the first 2 to 4 weeks. So it's a really special time, so magical.
Would you say this is probably your favorite type of photography now?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I would say so. Newborn photography is just so wonderful.
Do you feel like when you were a bit younger, or when you just got into photography, do you feel like that's something you would never have ventured into?
Yes. If you would have told me even just a couple years ago, if you would have told me that I was going to be doing newborn photography, I would have said, you are out of your mind.
What changed?
You know, I think COVID really was, I know a lot of people say this, but COVID really kind of turned my life around. There was no kind of working in this commercial industry.
Wow.
There was no working in any industry, but it gave me a break.
Right.
And it gave me time to reflect.
Wow.
And kind of change what I'm doing. And so during COVID, I got really into just kind of like home things that I could do at home, places I could work from home. So I got into a lot of jewelry making, which I really enjoyed for that time. But once things opened back up again, once things kind of went back to normal, I found myself kind of craving to go back to photography. It's really my passion, it's what I do, it's what I've studied for so long, but I knew I needed a change, so I knew it wasn't going to be commercial kind of beauty photography anymore in that sense. Yeah.
Do you feel like the industry has kind of burned you out? Or do you feel like it's just you just growing and changing and because you had time to figure out who you really want to be in your career wise? Like, you know, is that, would you say that or not?
I wouldn't say that I burnt out because I still loved the creative aspect of it. Beauty is so fun and so also you know, magical in a sense that you can kind of transform. And I love beauty still, but I think that I just kind of grew and changed and
different stage.
Yeah, just a different stage really.
Were you scared starting something new?
No, actually I wasn't scared about it. I knew that it was going to take some time to build up a new clientele, all of that, but I'm quite experienced in photography, so I knew exactly what I needed to do, market-wise, photographic style-wise. I knew what I was kind of striving for, so it just took work to kind of create that and time.
So you didn't take a long time to figure out your style of photography for this?
No.
You just kind of, obviously because you're a very experienced photographer.
Oh, thank you.
No, you are. You're very good at what you do, and obviously, I mean, you've got a master's degree in photography and film, so obviously you know what you're doing. So was it just like a quite easy transition?
I did a lot of research. I looked at a lot of other photographers, and I found I was seeing a lot of things that I liked and a lot of things that I didn't like. A lot of the time with consumer photography, it is a lot self-taught, which I think is amazing. You can teach yourself anything nowadays. But there were a lot of things technically, and I think coming from quite a technical retouching background, that I didn't like to see. So it was easy for me to kind of come up with my own style and develop something that I could do consistently, that was timeless, you know. So for me, my style is quite classic, light, airy, candid, I think is the most important thing, especially with children. You have to just go with the flow, be in the moment, and capture those moments. And that's what you want to remember anyway, you know?
What's the difference between working with private client to, I would say, corporate clients, I guess, is a very different, but yeah, you know what I mean.
It's very different, yeah, but it's much easier.
Really?
Yes, it's much easier, especially because people are always so happy to see pictures of their family and pictures of their children, and if you know the angles and the lighting and you make people look good with your angles and your lighting and your lenses and your camera, all of those things play a major part. I mean, you have to know what makes people look good, and generally it's the same thing. I mean, there's different tweaks, but people can tell, you know, people know when they look good and when they look bad, you know. So if you make them look good, then they will love the pictures, you know.
I agree.
And children always look good, you know. I mean, kids, how can you go wrong?
So basically you haven't had any difficult client so far?
No, not really. And I think if you have someone that does come to you and they are having an issue with something, you know, can be quite easily resolved.
I mean, you are a pretty chilled person, to be honest. I've always thought that about you when I first met you. You're very chilled.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it takes a type of personality to do this as well? Like,
probably. I mean, I haven't really thought about that, but probably. I mean, you have to be quite easygoing, I think, and be able to talk to people and make people feel comfortable. I mean, because people come in reluctant. Like, everyone wants great pictures of themselves, but people will always come in a little bit reluctant, especially dads.
Really?
Of families.
I thought it would be the female that's usually the one that's a bit...
No.
Really?
No, the moms are always the one booking the session, setting it up, looking at the photos online, that type of thing.
Oh.
You know, thinking about photography more. I mean, this isn't a total rule, but this is kind of, in my experience, what I've experienced. And so the dads are usually the ones that are a little bit more reluctant to be in front of the camera, you know, don't know where to put their hands, like that type of thing.
Okay.
So you have to do a little bit more posing guidance with them.
Yes.
But it's just making everyone, the family, feel comfortable and relaxed.
Do you do photography for weddings?
No.
Why?
Oh, weddings. There's so many reasons why. You know, you've got very specific moments that you have to capture, and if you miss it, it only happens once. And so it's high pressure. It's a lot more high pressure than, you know, someone coming to the studio and having some pictures taken at any point, you know. People could very easily get angry, I think, if you miss those moments, you know, because that's what they employ you to do. Also, I mean, it's a lot more travel. You gotta go to location.
Good money, though.
Yeah, good money, but really,
but not worth the stress.
Consumer photography is quite good. I mean, if you've got a client base that likes what you do, they'll pay for what you do, you know. I was gonna do a date night tonight, but then I forgot my husband had to leave.
Oh, how long is he going for?
We gone a week, and then he comes back, and then the next day we are gonna go to Basel together.
Oh wow.
In Switzerland.
Lovely.
Because that's where his headquarters of where he works is.
Okay.
And so we're gonna go check that out. They're actually they're giving him an apartment there. So
what?
Yeah, so we're gonna have a little apartment in
how nice.
Basel.
I'm there. I'm coming on a holiday.
And then we come back after that little weekend, and then he has to go to the US.
Are you gonna go with him?
No, I'm going to the US in February.
Okay.
It's a super surprise trip, so I'm going to surprise my mom for her birthday.
Oh,
yeah,
that'd be so nice.
I'm so excited. So I planned it with my dad.
Oh.
And he's gonna pick me up from the airport and all of that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stay at his house that evening, and then the next morning we're gonna go and knock on my mom's door.
Oh, it's gonna be so nice.
Oh my gosh, I've never done anything like that before. She's probably gonna cry.
Oh,
I'm sure.
her.
But she'll be so surprised and so excited.
Yeah, she'll be so happy. But you guys staying here for Christmas?
Yes, yeah. So we're doing Christmas here. We're actually hosting at our house.
Are you?
Year, which is so fun. Like, I love to host. I love to cook.
Cool. So, what do you like to cook?
For Christmas, it's gonna be a big turkey. A lot of people say they don't like turkey, that it's like dry, but I cook it for 24 hours, so it's super nice.
What, so you start the night before, the day before?
Yeah, I start the day before.
Okay, talk to us about this process of you making this amazing turkey.
Yeah, I pick it up from the butcher the morning the day before, and then I put it in the oven on high, and it kind of seals it. It like roasts it and seals it really high temperature. So that all the juices are like locked inside, and then I cover it and I cook it on low overnight, and into the next morning.
Slow cook.
Yeah, super low.
What?
Yeah.
Do you put it in the slow cooker type of?
No, just in the oven.
Just in the oven overnight?
Yeah. And I actually set alarms, and I wake up throughout the night, and I baste it. Yeah. I mean, you don't want people coming to your house and eating a dry turkey, right?
And let's talk about...
If you don't know what basting is, it's when you put the juice on top of the turkey.
Okay, if you don't know what that is, I mean, I'm sure
I feel like we're doing a cooking show.
I know, right? I turned into a cooking show. This is amazing, but let's just take a minute. You would wake up.
Yeah, every 4 hours. Every 4 to 6 hours.
To baste your turkey.
Yeah. But you only have to wake up really like once. Like if you stay up really late at night,
but that is
watching Christmas movies, all that, then you set an alarm like one time in the middle of the night. You go downstairs and you baste it, and then you just stick it back in and go back to sleep. And then when you wake up in the morning is the next time you're gonna baste it. And then in the end, like in the morning, right before everyone comes over for like kind of a late lunch, I cook it on super high again.
That's a real commitment.
Yeah,
that's it sounds, I can almost taste it. I'm literally like, yeah, I can see it, I can feel it. Yeah. It must be really nice and juicy, and
it's so good. And it makes the whole house smell amazing as well.
So basically, if you're not going to do photography, you're going to be like a chef.
Yeah.
So you're going to cook.
Could have been a second career option.
Wow.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Would you ever do it as a...
I've thought about it. I've thought about it so many times, but
really,
you know, chefs are so tied down to their restaurant and their location and all of that.
Yeah.
That like it doesn't really suit the kind of lifestyle that I want to have, which is, you know, being able to be with my family and travel and things like that, you know.
But I guess that's obviously, you could say that's your hobby.
Definitely.
Isn't it?
Definitely a hobby and a passion, that type of thing.
Do you bake as well?
Very select things. So I bake banana bread.
Okay.
And
did you start that during COVID? Because
yes, I did.
No. You travel a lot.
Yes, yeah, we travel quite a lot.
Like, since I've known this girl, she doesn't stay in one place for more than like a hot second. Like, they literally, her and her husband, they're just flying literally all over the world. Like, I'm literally like, how are you doing it? Do you guys work? Like, what is happening?
We need to start a travel account. Actually, well, we are kind of starting like a travel-y-ish Instagram thing. Yeah, just to, like, share with all our family and friends, like our little things and places that we're going and pictures and stuff like that.
Oh,
you know,
that's nice.
Because otherwise you're trying to like text everybody all the pictures and stuff like that. I mean, it's a blessing, really, you know,
absolutely,
to be able to explore and see all of these amazing places and meet amazing people, and you know, it's really kind of a dream, mainly because my husband's job is kind of a global role, so he gets to like travel quite a lot for that, and then I kind of tag along. And then on top of that, we both just really like to explore new places.
So you would say you love traveling?
Yeah, definitely.
You love the whole experience, flying, go through airports.
Oh, I am not good with flying.
What?
No, I am so scared of flying.
And yet
it's worth it though. It's worth it.
So what do you do then? Like, how do you calm yourself down on a...
Well, and
for the people who
did used
struggle.
To just freak out and have like major anxiety and like...
Really?
I wouldn't say panic attack, but like
close.
Major scared, like hyperventilating. So I'm sure it probably would be classified as that, I guess, but so scared of anything, even like not just turbulence, but like any kind of weird sounds that...
So what worked for you and what didn't work for you when you travel, when you fly, because obviously you're quite scared of flying?
I actually watched a YouTube video by this psychologist, and she took you through a flight through like on video.
Okay.
She just kind of put it in a way that was more positive than negative. So she said things like, everything that is happening is a good sign. You know, everything that is going on, all of the sounds is taking you one step closer to where you're going and what you're looking forward to. And there was this really kind of positive thing about it where you picked like an anchor thought. So something that was exciting that you were looking forward to when you get there. So like for me, say example, it would be seeing my dog when I walk through the door and giving him a big hug and just being like so excited to see him when I get home, you know?
Okay.
And so yeah, so anytime I would kind of get scared or feel kind of my mind like kind of hijacking really my body, because it's a physical thing that happens when you get scared. Your stomach gets all out of whack, you know, all things like that. So you had to kind of keep control of your thoughts and your mind and not let yourself wander to things that weren't gonna happen, you know, or to think negatively, you know, about things that you didn't need to be thinking negatively or being scared about. So yeah, that helped me a lot. And
going to do a really cute red lip on her, which is nice. I don't usually see you with like a really bright red lip.
No, I always find that I always do just like completely like kind of like a darkish brownish color. I always wear the same one. Remember, I even gave it to you for my wedding. Like, I was like, this is the one that I use.
I did a makeup on her wedding.
Oh, we can pop that picture in here.
Thank you for watching today's episode. I've really enjoyed doing Gabby's makeup today. She looked amazing with that red lip. All her information about her business as a photographer, everything is in the description below. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. See you next time.